Wait, is your eye okay? How'd that happen? Who are you sparring?
I'm sparring a bunch of world champion heavyweights. I think Lawrence Okolie did that to me. He's like 6'6", 270.
That Jake does.
I think it's ChatGPT's lying to him. I think he needs to say on ChatGPT, give me it raw, uncut, and don't filter your answers. He's probably typed in ChatGPT, do you think I can beat Anthony Joshua? And it's been like, great question. Anthony came off a shocking loss in September. You have a great chance, Jake.
Any evidence as to how hard the sparring is or what they're doing. It might just be that they're tech sparring, like I said, but Jake isn't handling it too well, that he's getting clipped by them and they're just that much bigger and heavier that he can't quite take the power. His face is getting marked up and damaged.
Anthony Joshua mocks Jake Paul after footage of Jake's black eye spreads online. Jake claims the bruise came from sparring heavyweights while preparing for the Anthony Joshua fight. But AJ finds the situation entertaining. In Joshua's view, Jake getting tagged in sparring only highlights how unprepared he truly is. Age laughs at the notion that Jake believes he can defeat a proven heavyweight like himself.
Hey, how'd that happen? Who are you sparring?
I'm sparring a bunch of world champion heavyweights. I think Lawrence Okolie did that to me. He's like 6'6", 270.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. What are you weighing right now?
I'm like 215.
And you gotta get to what weight to fight AJ?
218, 220.
What's AJ's weight? 220?
He'll be like 250 in the ring.
Huh? 250?
Yeah.
Jake, 250 pounds is gonna fight at.
Yeah. It's definitely
Joshua continues to laugh at Jake Paul, saying Jake can't even deal with the power he's encountering in sparring, but still somehow thinks he can beat him. Age jokes that maybe Jake's doctor is misleading him and filling his head with false confidence. Joshua also makes it clear there's nothing in the contract that requires him to ease up. He says he plans to use full force on fight night and is taking this bout seriously. AJ adds that he's looking forward to the fight and is ready to show Jake the real gap between them.
I start believing in him because, like, they don't believe it because they're saying, how is he beating these guys? I think they can't get their head around, how did he beat Anderson Silva? How did he beat Nate Diaz? How did he beat Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's no stipulation in the contract where I have to take it easy on him.
Yeah. Are you excited for this one, Anthony?
Yeah, really. I've trained really hard, so I'm looking forward to putting my skill.
3 interview Joey Knight starts by analyzing Jake Paul's preparation and says Jake genuinely believes he can land something significant on Anthony Joshua. He explains that Jake has been sparring Lawrence Okolie and other heavyweights to adjust to the size and power difference he'll face against AJ. According to Joey, Jake suffered an eye injury during sparring with Okolie, which he later shared publicly to show he's working with real punchers. However, Joey points out that Jake never revealed the full context of those sessions, what shots landed, how hard they were, or what instructions he was following. Joey believes Jake understands the danger of facing Joshua but keeps convincing himself that he can pull off the massive upset. His message is simple: Jake is already absorbing heavy shots in training, and that's just a glimpse of what AJ will bring on fight night.
All done well just for getting in with this fella who, if nothing else, is still known as a bit of a puncher, and Jake Paul has done even better in being able to legitimately put him on his arse. But that's one level of sparring. To be precise, that level is ranked 249th by BoxRec when it's looking at heavyweights. And when BoxRec looks at heavyweights, you have to go all the way up the list to find number 5 ranked Lawrence Okolie. That is who Jake Paul has been sparring with over the past few weeks.
Trouble finding Hussein Mohammed early on.
And a lot of you guys will know this because Jake Paul showed the bruises and marks on his face and said that it was Lawrence Okolie that had done that. And faces don't necessarily tell you how a spar went. Some guy can have blood all over him, he can have a busted up nose, but he still won the rounds in sparring. But I can only imagine that this week has been a very, very humbling experience for Jake Paul. In fact, the past few weeks will have been eye-opening for Jake Paul. A past few weeks where he has sparred the likes of Lawrence Okolie, of Jared Anderson, and of Frank Sanchez as well. And being that I have seen Jake Paul go life and death with Tommy Fury, you can guarantee you that Okolie, that Anderson, and that Frank Sanchez have basically manhandled Jake Paul in there. And that experience would have been somewhat of a dawn of realization upon Jake Paul that this is actually happening now. So to an extent, I'll be honest, I actually feel sorry.
Carl Froch joins Tony Bellew and the two address the matchup with complete seriousness. Frock says the very first jab from Anthony Joshua will immediately make Jake Paul question why he signed the fight. He believes Jake will realize his mistake the moment he feels AJ's power, even from a basic punch. Frock argues that Jake has stepped far beyond his limits, and Baloo agrees that he's entering territory he doesn't truly understand. Both men explain that Jake has never shared the ring with someone who punches like Joshua, someone who has dropped world champions with simple shots. Frock adds that Jake lacks the experience, reactions, and defensive awareness needed to survive against a precise heavyweight. In their view, Jake won't just get hurt, he'll realize too late that this isn't a fight he can talk or promote his way through.
On him against Anthony Joshua, massive unit, two-time world champ, still got a big punch. I think he's mentally fragile at world level if he goes against the big guns because of the knockout, especially the bar knockout when he got fucking spattered. You know what I mean? In round 5, and he got hurt early on and then got done. And he's not been in the ring for 13 months.
Yeah.
But can you see a world in which Jake Paul is competitive in this fight?
No.
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 How do you see the fight going if AJ takes it serious?
It'll be over when he wants it to be over.
Thank you. So do you think it's going to be real, this fight? Do you think it's actually... So you think that Jake Paul...
You couldn't fake it. You really think Anthony Joshua's going to put his whole livelihood on the line for Jake Paul?
No, I don't think he would.
So there you go. It's over when he wants it to be over.
There could be some kind of tacit agreement in the background.
How?
Where they have a handshake.
Then that's illegal. You're going to jail.
Exactly, it's illegal. That's what I was going to say.
So you can't.
Because it's not an exhibition.
No, it's a fight.
So
and people are betting on it. Big amounts of money.
So we're watching this. I'm flying out there next week to Miami to watch it. So I'm going out there. He's laughing. I'm getting some old. So it's all good. But it's like Jake Paul against Anthony Joshua, 6 foot. What's he? 6'6".
How about that?
Fucking. What's he? 16. What's 245 pounds?
He can't be a pound over 245.
What's
so
that in stone?
The best part, just on 17 stone or just under.
So Jake lost to Tommy Fury, and that's the one everyone keeps on. Do you think he's improved much since Tommy Fury?
Yeah, but do you think he's improved enough to be competitive? Unless I close my eyes and Josh is complete.
Analyst Henry offers a more balanced take on Jake's black eye. He says people shouldn't jump to conclusions because no one knows what kind of sparring Jake was doing. Jake could have been working defense, or following instructions that intentionally left him exposed. Henry explains that a black eye doesn't fully explain how a sparring session played out, and fighters often get marked up during routine drills. He believes the reaction is exaggerated because Jake chose to post the injury publicly. Still, Henry admits that sparring heavyweights isn't something most cruiserweights or light heavyweights regularly do. Jake is adding pressure to himself by using those sessions as proof that he's ready for AJ. According to Henry, the real truth will come on fight night when the power gap is undeniable and there are no limits on either fighter.
Enormous dude. But the thing is, for me, the black eye is not really evidence of a whole lot. For all I know, they're just tech sparring. They're saying, right, Lawrence, go in there. You're just going to jab Jake this round. Jake, you're going to practice defense. Right, Lawrence, Jake's going to try and knock you out this round. There's different kinds of sparring. Not all sparring is at full speed. In fact, a lot of sparring isn't. Lawrence could easily have given him that black eye by just landing a simple jab to his face. It's not indicative of any kind of intensity. It doesn't give away any information about how Jake is actually getting on in there. Even the best fighters will come out of training camp with a mark here and there. The other thing that we saw and that was called out in a recent interview clip was that Jake's nose looked slightly bent to the side and slightly swollen. It was called out by the interviewer, and Jake said, yes, it was Frank Sanchez who gave that to me.
You broke your nose? Is this new? I'm seeing your nose. Your nose is that from the same show?
More crooked, brother. I'm not gonna lie. The sparring, the heavyweights, my nose has moved a couple millimeters to this camp. A guy by the name of Frank Sanchez, he definitely cracked it a little bit, so it definitely has a slight little something in there. It's bad.
Frankie,
wait, hold on. Look at that, dude. It's like,
Frankie.
I'm like Squidward, dog.
Hey, Frankie Sanchez.
Joshua also speaks about his own training and contrasts it with Jake's approach. He says his sparring is going extremely well, with hard rounds where both sides trade shots and leave with marks and lessons. AJ explains that these sessions help him sharpen his timing, increase his power, and stay fight ready. He subtly compares this to Jake by noting that he isn't the one being exposed or hurt in sparring. Joshua views Jake's injury as evidence that Jake is struggling to cope with heavyweight punches, even in controlled conditions. To AJ, this fight is just another challenge, and he's preparing for it the same way he always does. He makes it clear that he plans to use his full power and won't be holding back.
Well, you got different types of power. You got the power that you generate, like in sparring, and on the heavy bag. And I'm controlling the sparring partners pretty well. I'm hitting them hard. They're hitting me hard. We're doing good rounds, and then the power in the gym hasn't dropped off either, so that's good. It's all round.
Okay, because Anthony, you know, and people have already started saying this. Is there any clause that says you need to go